guys? Welcome to my YouTube channel, or welcome back if you guys have been watching my videos. It's been a while since I posted a YouTube video. I'm a very busy person right now with my full-time career and everything I try to as well do over on Instagram. It just is hard for me to sit down and find time to edit a video, but I get so many requests for this one, so I really wanted to give it to you guys. So we're going to be doing a full makeup tutorial. So this is like my full date night look, or like on Fridays when I feel like just doing my makeup like fully. This is what I go for. I posted a minimal makeup look over on my Instagram page. It'll be saved to my beauty highlight over there if you guys want to go check that out. I did that last weekend, but I have been getting, like I said, lots of requests to do my full makeup. So we're going to do that today. I'm going to show you guys all the products I'm using. If you have any questions, let me know. I will list all the products that I'm using down below. I won't link them just because it takes forever, but they are all going to be linked over on my Like to Know It. So I will drop a link for my Like to Know It page down below as well. And feel free to reach out to me on Instagram and let me know if you guys have questions. I usually am able to get my DMs answered over there faster than I'm able to remember to comment back over here. So this YouTube channel is just more for people who are following me on Instagram to come over and you know, see longer type videos. So let's get right into it. If you guys do like this video, make sure you like and subscribe so you guys do not miss a future video from me. So first thing we're going to do, very simple, is go ahead and clip back my hair. These are from Amazon. They are no crease clips, and I feel like they work so much better than anything I have ever used before. Also, I'm not sure if you guys can see, but I have some purple shampoo that I forgot to wash out of my hair last night because I was so tired. So if you guys can see that, please ignore it. I tried to actually just get it wet and get some of that purple shampoo out of my hair. So lovely. So first thing we're going to do is, if you have any dry patches on your face, I highly suggest using some sort of moisturizer or a face serum or something like that that is going to keep the patches that get dry on your face moisturized throughout the day. If I already put on moisturizers this morning, then I would skip this step, but today I'm going to be using the Glow Recipe Watermelon Glow Niaminicide Dew Drops on just, again, those places that get dry. So my chin, sometimes my forehead. I feel like those places that are easily creased. Alright, the next thing that we are going to do is we are going to prime the face. So I'm going to be using two different primers. So I'm first going to be using the YSL. This is a blurring primer, so that is the name for it. I am not going to butcher it, but basically I'm going to put this on any of the spots that I tend to have extra texture. So after that, we're going to use this other primer. So this is the Laura Mercier Pure Canvas Primer in Illuminating, and I am going to use this essentially everywhere else, and I do usually put a little on my forehead as well. Just any of those places I want to be a little bit more illuminating. I don't do it on my nose because that's where I tend to first get oily. So we're just going to go ahead and rub that in. And if you guys can tell, that added a pretty nice glow already to my face. Alright, this next step, you guys might think I'm crazy, but you're just going to have to trust me on it because it has become a new staple in my routine. So we're going to take the Pretty Fresh from ColourPop. This is a hyaluronic acid tinted moisturizer, and we are going to put this on the face. I usually just do some pumps. Caught that. And then we're going to go ahead and actually smooth it in with a brush. I just use this little foundation brush that I have and go ahead and smooth this in all over my face. So I have found that this step right here is a game changer in my makeup routine because it just makes your makeup look so dang good all day. You know, it would just be like if you're using a moisturizer all over your face, but something about the way my makeup sets over top of this moisturizer, this tinted moisturizer, it's just, honestly, it's game changing. Okay, cool. And then we're going to, if you need to at this time, I would spot conceal. I literally don't have a single acne spot that I need to spot conceal on my face. Now that I say that, I will probably go in and do just a little bit under my nose and around my nose because that's where I tend to like have a little bit of redness. But that's it. So if I had any spots on my face, I'd go in and spot conceal at this point in time and go ahead and blend that out with a beauty blender. Alright, after we have done that, we're going to go in with foundation. I have lots of foundations to choose from today, but I do believe I'm going to go in with a little combination here. Maybe. Yeah, I think I'm going to. So I'm going to do mostly my Makeup Forever Reboot foundation. This is my absolute fave. But I've also really been liking the Nars. This is the Soft Matte Foundation. So I'm in shade Santa Fe. This is medium 2. This is a little bit light for me, so that's why I'm going to use mostly the Makeup Forever Reboot foundation, and this is in the shade Y355. So mostly this one, because this matches me pretty much perfect right now, but I really like these two mixed together just a little bit for some reason. So I'm just gonna do that on the back of my hand. I really need to get one of those little like palettes that you can use. So mostly Makeup Forever, and then just a tiny little bit of Nars, like tiny. And I personally don't use a whole lot of foundation, again, just because I really don't need like coverage. And then I'm just gonna take a random tool that I have somewhere over here, and I'm gonna go ahead and mix that together. So as you can see, that's a pretty dang good shade, and you guys will see when I blend it out too. It's really pretty. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and use a beauty blender. I used to be a brush girl, and all of a sudden I've just noticed I like my foundation a lot more when I use a beauty blender. So also wanted to let you guys know this is just a beauty blender from e.l.f. I really am very impressed with this beauty blender because it truly doesn't soak up any product like I feel like the rest of beauty blenders do. So we're done with those. Now we're going to move on to my favorite part. So I'm torn because right now my favorite cream bronzer is this Milk Makeup. This is the matte bronzer in the shade Baked. And then I recently got these e.l.f. Putty bronzers. They work really well too. I got this also in the shade Honey Drip. So I got this at Ulta. I got it in 2 different shades. I also got it in shade Bronze Belle, so it's a little bit darker there. And I feel like the one from e.l.f. and Milk Makeup are almost identical. Okay, so this is again Baked and this is Honey Drip. Like, those are pretty dang identical. Like, I'm very proud of myself. I literally just picked out colors online and was able to get that. So I think we're gonna go in with the e.l.f. one just because I feel like you guys will like that a little bit better. And actually I was able to get my brush to fit, so that's exciting. Okay, so this is again my favorite part. This is, I feel like, key to the whole look is using the cream bronzer like this. So I'm gonna go ahead and put it on my face. You guys just go ahead and watch. So as you can tell, that cream bronzer just blends so freaking seamlessly and it just looks so natural. I am utterly obsessed with it. So there's lots of cream bronzer products out there, but like I said, that e.l.f. one literally works just like the Milk Makeup one. The e.l.f. one was $6. I'm sure the Milk Makeup one was probably around like $25 or something. So next we are going to move on to just a tiny little bit of this Charlotte Tilbury Beauty Light wand. I have this in the shade Unknown. Spotlight, that's what it is. So I already have a little bit on the applicator there, and I'm just going to put it in the spots that I would typically apply highlight before I go in with my cream blush, because I like the look of glow kind of underneath my blush. So then we're just going to blend that out with a beauty blender. Alright, and then onto cream blush. Today I'm going to be using the e.l.f. Putty blush, like dark red shade. I think it's like Bali or something like that. And then I'm going to use the e.l.f. Putty Blush Applicator for this, and I'm just going to put it in here, swirl it around, and apply it. You can get these from a bunch of different places now, the cream blushes. There's a bunch of different shades in the e.l.f. ones, and then I also really like the Rare Beauty ones. Don't be afraid to really apply this product because it's going to blend out very easily. And then next we're going to go ahead and do some powder. So the first thing I'm going to do is contour my nose just a little bit with some bronzer. So I'm going to be using the Too Faced Chocolate Soleil bronzer. And I'm going to take a small brush, just like this, and just contour my nose a little bit here. I was blessed with a giant nose. So anything we can do to make this baby look a little smaller, I'm down for. I really don't have a science to contouring my nose either. We just slap some bronzer on there and hope it looks better. Alright, next we're going to go ahead and do some powder bronzer on my face. So I'm going to go in with that same bronzer from Too Faced. Take my little angled brush here, get a good amount on it, and we're going to add a little more. And then we're going to do one more bronzer. This is the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Bronzer in Radiant Bronze Light. Gorgeous. This is a key step to my makeup routine. I do this every day, whether it's a minimal look or full look like this. And I'm just going to put it in pretty much those same places, except I'm not going to do under my chin. Just a little bit. I don't know why, but it just adds something different to the face. I just can't explain. And then we're going to go in with the Glowdient makeup palette. This is from Touch in Soul. I got this in one of my BoxyCharm boxes and I've been obsessed with it. It has the most gorgeous highlighting colors, and I'm going to go through and use, honestly, like all of them. I just kind of go like this throughout the whole palette and put on my highlight point. Then I'm going to go in with a little bit of finishing powder. So this is from Tarte. This is Smooth Operator in shade Medium. I really like this. I'm just going to use kind of this dense brush that, again, I have from e.l.f. And I only apply to like this area, a little bit on my nose because I tend to wear it get oily, and little tiny bit on my forehead. But I don't like to use too much of this because I want my face to have that glowy look to it, and I feel like that'll make it look a little bit more matte if you use too much. So now that is just my face. We are going to move on to eyes. This is the one thing I get trillions of freaking questions on, I feel like, which I'm glad you guys like it. So first thing we're going to do is some shadows, and I'm going to be using a couple different palettes today. We're going to be using the Tartlette palette. This is the Juicy palette from Tarte, and it's got all these beautiful colors in it. I used this in my minimal makeup look last week as well. And then I'm going to be using the Truly Madly Deeply palette from ColourPop. So I think I might use this Whatever palette from ColourPop as well. This one does have some glitters in it, but I think I'm just going to use it for the red colors. I might actually just use this one instead of the Truly Madly Deeply, but we will see. So first thing I'm going to go ahead and start with is just a little bit of a base color. So I'm using the color Wishful from my Tarte palette. Sorry, I'm looking for all of my eye brushes. So first thing I'm going to do is take just kind of a flat brush into this light color here, This is again Wishful from that Tarte palette. And I just want a light base color to kind of put the rest of my shadows over. And I think I'm going to go ahead and just speed this part up because this always takes the longest, and you guys can kind of see what I use and get a general idea of how I do my shadows.
Holding on to things that are changing me, thinking I knew it all, but now I see you showed me all that I could be, and with regret I turned, and now I don't know me. I've been running circles in my head, hiding from things left unsaid. I think I need a heart check. I think I need that conversation. I've been running circles in my head, hiding from things left unsaid. I think I need a heart check. I think I need that conversation. It can't be out of sight, out of mind. I don't have much time to turn my wrongs to right. Running away like I'm the only one, coming right back cause I'm the prodigal son. Insecure, and that's what it was. Your love is all I need because I've been running circles in my head, hiding from things left unsaid. I think I need a heart check. I think I need that conversation. I've been running circles in my head, hiding from things left unsaid. I think I need a heart check. I think I need that conversation.
Alright guys, so this is my full look with the exception I'm going to put some fake lashes on, but I cannot do that on camera because I need to look very closely in the mirror. You guys won't even be able to see it. So I'm going to put my lashes on. I am going to also do my lips for you guys here in a second, but I just wanted to pop in and say I'm going to put my lashes on quickly so you guys will notice that difference. Alright guys, so lashes are on. They're looking pretty. These are the Ardell 734 Lift Effect lashes. I'm still in the hunt for my favorite ones. I think actually these top it. I really like them, and they have the little invisible band strip. So 2 keys to lashes if you guys struggle with them, because I always did up until I did these 2 things. Number 1, make sure you trim your lashes. So like I just showed you guys right there, that's about how much I trimmed off of each end of them. So not the inner corner, but I trimmed the end because I like that it's a smaller kind of part there in the inside. So trim your lashes, number 1, and don't be afraid to trim a lot off. Number 2 is once you put the glue on, which you need a very minimal amount of glue, let it get tacky before you actually set them on your eyes, and then they will immediately like stick and set. So those are my 2 suggestions. Like I said, I used to struggle with lashes so much and hate them, and now I wear them every weekend, sometimes a couple times on the weekend. And then for my lips today, first I applied a lip oil earlier when I was doing my makeup. That kind of helps prep my lips for liquid lipstick, because obviously liquid lipsticks can be a little bit more on the drying side. I have found some that are not, but the one I'm using today, it's super freaking pretty, but I like to put a little bit of lip oil on underneath. So this is the Half Caked liquid lipstick in the color Swish. It's a pretty like red mauve color. I wore it the other day for the first time and I love it. So we're gonna go ahead and just apply. So I have pretty decent sized lips. They're not like small or anything. Like I would never get lip fillers, like maybe a little bit on my top lip, but I really like my natural lips. So I don't lip line or anything like that. I purely just am very careful about kind of where I apply the liquid lipstick. And then I'm also going to do just a little bit of like glitter gloss over top of that today. Alright, so I went downstairs and grabbed my current fave lip gloss. This is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Summer Vibes lip gloss. So it's really pretty. I already put on a little bit, realized I didn't click the record button on my camera. So anyhow, finished look, super pretty, nothing crazy. I just feel like it's a nice summer look. I feel like it kind of looks like I've been laying out in the sun all day with that little bit of redness there on my cheeks. But I'm telling you guys, I swear by cream products, at least putting those down first and putting some powders on over top of them. So let me know if you guys have any questions. Feel free to shoot me a DM over on Instagram. Don't forget to like this video if you liked it, subscribe, and drop any questions you have too over down in the comments. Also check out the description box. It'll have all of my affiliate links and places where you can go to support me, and also again a list of all the products that I use in today's video. So I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you later.